Hello, everyone. I hope that all is doing well. I am posting this in particular video on how I started homeschool as far as me and my family. Just a little background. The major reason why I chose to homeschool my children was because my oldest was just having a lot of behavioral issues in school, very defiant towards some of the adults in the school. And so the school system doesn't really want to deal with those type of children. I can't say that he did have an IEP and it wasn't really followed. They kind of gave up on him. He also was in high ability class, meaning, he was above the rest of the students in the class. And whenever you have a behavioral issue, but you're smart at the same time, yeah, it really doesn't matter. So I knew that I couldn't give up on my son, whether the school system chose to or not. I couldn't, because at the end of the day, he still needed his education. So I stepped out on faith and I began to homeschool my children. The journey has been okay. This is our first year. There's certain times I do get excited. Other times I'm worried. Other times I'm like, okay, what have I got myself into? Am I going to fail? All of those things rise up. But whenever my son came up with the name Walk to Faith Academy, I knew that I had to use my faith to get through it. And not only do I have to use mine, but I'm teaching them as well that they must use their faith as well, and we will succeed. Okay, so just a little background on that. So I got started off with creating my own academic calendar, because when I did my research, I found out that, you do have rules and regulations, and an academic calendar is needed. If anyone comes in and they want to know, why your children aren't going to school, CPS, for example, you want to be able to show them this. I'm going to go through a few things that I learned that you must do. So one of them is the academic calendar, and I'll show you mine now. I made my own little logo. But as time goes on, I really hope that I can get a better one and make it really pretty and make it really cute. So here is mine, if you guys can see. And we started August 1st, and we will be ending on June 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I had a few issues come up. I had lost a father, so that kind of pushed our schedule back. The awesome thing about homeschool is as long as you get in those 180 days, you're fine. We were supposed to end school May 25th, but due to trial, we're going to be completing in June. So just keep your times, keep your dates, your days, and you'll be fine. 180 days. I also read that you need to keep track of your attendance with each child. So I just made this up on my own. You see their names, the date, the time out, and signature. Now, the signature part, I do allow my children to do it. I like for them to sign in. I write the date and, of course, the time in and time out of each day that we spend working on any of the material that I prepared for them. So you want to 180 days, and you want to have proof that you guys are having school. Another thing that I did, which you do not have to do for the state of Indiana, is register your child. If you do want to register your child and receive a verification number, you can go to www.homeschool.do IN or I think it's do or do. I will text that down so that you can actually just go ahead and click on the link to go there if you want to register. Personally, I do suggest that you do that. It's just a form of covering yourself, the state to know that's what you're doing. Also, if your child is in school and you are making the decision to homeschool them in the following year, you want to, just for you, prove fact that you're going to continue to give your children an education, just write out a written letter to your principal and let them know, hey, I'm choosing to take John Doe out of school and homeschool him for the following year. Thank them for all that they've done for your child, and state that you're going to be homeschooling them. It also it will prevent them trying to create a case of truancy on you as well. So that would be, beneficial. We don't want any court dates to tell us that we haven't been educating our children and go to court for no reason. Long process. Also, let's see what else. Okay, so so this is number 1, 180 days, right? Number 2, you want to create an academic calendar. And 3, you want to write a written statement to your principal to let them know that you're going to further the education of your child. It's that simple. That's it. To get started. That's all. And so just a few little tips I did want to let you know. As I researched, I did find out that it does say that for the state of Indiana, you don't have to have like a certain program or a certain curriculum that you have to abide by when you are homeschooling your children. You don't. You can teach them whatever it is that you choose to teach them. For example, I do reading, math, English, science, spelling. I do the regular things, but I did add French to my son and I did add Spanish to my daughter. Next year, I am planning on adding sign language. So, yeah, and I too will be learning it. I'm excited. I think that it's important for them to know different languages, know different ways to communicate with people that we usually, don't know, or we don't take the time to learn, or we learned it in high school and left it at high school. You know what I mean? So I'm doing that. So you see that hole up there? I wanted to give you a note too as far as testing. Testing has been really challenging for me because I've just been strictly like giving them stuff, and then whatever little post test that they have in their workbooks, then I'll do that. But testing is really, really important. The state does not require homeschool students to comply with standard testing regulations. The state does not advise us to. The state does, advise us to periodically test our children. And there's different organizations that I found out that you can actually take your child to get them tested. And it said periodically. So, yeah, once every blue moon. Mm-hmm. You do want to give your own testing, though. You should. I wrote it down, guys, because I just learned this. So you want to do weekly quizzes and every 2-week test, and then you want to do a big test like 6 to 8 weeks. And I'm learning that. So this year I did not do that at all. I just gave post test, and then when I thought that I wanted to test them to see where they were at, that's what I did. Next year I will implement that. Because I want to make sure that they are retaining everything. IPS schools too, about the testing, they will test your children for you. All you have to do is go in and say, hey, I would like to get my children, they're homeschooled, I would like to get them tested. And they'll give you that. They'll do that. They'll hook you up for that. IPS. Now, I want to show you guys what I did as well. So I do have a MUI's guide. My children call me MUI. So I have a MUI guide, and this is what helps me to stay on track. So I got, whatever day of the week is, the date, whatever lessons we're going to do, not lessons, subjects that we're going to do. They do change. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are pretty much the same, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays are different. I kind of make those light days, um, and it consists of spelling. They do journal, English, math, reading, and science. And then on those off days where it's kind of relaxing, it's still spelling, journal, writing, math, reading, and history. So I do this for each child. As you can see up top, that's my son Akaya. They both have it. I keep the week as well. I made this myself just so that I can kind of, be organized. They have a reading log as well that they have to do every night for 15 minutes. I also have a weekly agenda that I started off with faithfully. I was on point with it. But as I seen my children kind of like really fly through some of the stuff and we wasn't really spending 30 minutes on it or 45 minutes, then I kind of like threw it to the side. But I'm going to show you guys because next year I'm going to implement this, whether they are past the time, it takes them longer, or whether it's short. I'm going to make sure that whatever that time is, if we're spending 30 minutes on there, that they spend the 30 minutes on there. Even if they're done in 15 minutes, they can just review and study it. Now, I will cut it off. If it takes them longer than the 30 or the 45 minutes, I'll cut it off and then it can be homework. So this is the weekly agenda. 7:45, it'll be breakfast. 8, it will be, just prayer and going over our agenda. I know you guys probably can't really see that. We got a devotion, sticky devotion, spelling, so forth. On this, I did implement brain breaks because they get restless and they get to be what they are awesomely doing. Yeah, so I give them brain breaks. And so, it will be 7:45 breakfast. By 8 o'clock, we will be doing prayer. So they got 15 minutes to eat. Prayer, devotion, and go so forth. And school will let out about 2:30. So that's still like a good time. They can still, have time to play. And I have one of these for each child as well. Like I said, they do have a difference where one does French and the other does Spanish. I know with the different languages, in the beginning, I was really, really, really strong about them. And as the time went on, I kind of died down. But next year, I'm going to stay on those languages. Real quick, side note, the Lord had shared with me a while back that each one of us in my family had to learn a different language. The kids have been faithful in learning their language whenever I make them learn it. But my hubby and I, no. So Akai is French, Zakari is Spanish. My husband is supposed to be Hebrew, and I'm German. Yeah. But I'm going to work on that. All right. I already told you guys about the mud guide. Okay. And then I made up my own cute little report card. Now, I know I said this was cute because when I made it, I really did think it was cute. It was simple. Next year, I'm going to make it colorful. I'm going to make it probably more like a card. Like, y'all know back in the day how we had our little card lights. So, I could do it like this and then they can flip it open. I think that's what I really want to do. And I want to make it cute. And I want to have Walk to Faith Academy on it. All right. Recap really quick. If you want to start homeschooling your child, all you need to do is 1, have an academic calendar. That academic calendar needs to consist of 180 days. 2, you want to go ahead and write to the school that your child is currently at and let them know, hey, I'm leaving, but I will be furthering their education through homeschooling. Make it written. And then 3, you want to make sure that you have proof, attendance, that you are homeschooling your children. And that's all you need for the state of Indiana. That's it. Choose whatever curriculum, choose whatever you like for your children to learn. Enjoy them, learn from them, and most of all, be patient with them. It has been so trying for this mom who likes to rush and get done. And yeah, today the Lord corrected me and he told me, calm down. Yeah, calm down. Be patient. So yes, I hope this video has helped you in such a way that you will choose to get on board with me and have faith that you can homeschool your children and they shall be successful. Faith without works is dead. All right. To my children, I need you guys real quick. The lovely Zakari. Here you go, man. And the handsome Akaya, my twin. All right. We love you guys, and we out.